Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Okay, it's another video artist beginning with the letter C. So, what did I play this morning? Unfortunately, I'm a little bit late today. Well, this morning I played In Memoriam more than anything, really, although a lot of people have spread the news about the sad death of this chap. I was playing Ashra. Blackouts. It's probably my favourite album by the great man Manuel Gotching. This is just it's just Manuel Gotching on his own. It's such a great album. This is the second one he did, just calling himself Ashra. This is from 1978, although it was recorded in 1977. We've got 6 brilliant tracks on this album. There he is. There. Never got to see the man live. I'm very sad that I was never able to see him live. Amazing musician. Okay, this is on Virgin Records. So hats off to them for signing in. Brilliant. The thing starts off, we've got 4 tracks on the first side. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know. That was my wife giving me a bollock in there. Okay, so what we've got is 4 tracks on the first side. So it starts with 77 slightly delayed, which is referring to him recorded in 77 and actually the album coming out in 1978. Brilliant. Midnight, that's I think the one that people that know this album tend to go with a lot. Don't Trust the Kids, and then the title track Blackouts. All quite lengthy pieces, as Manuel normally does. So 77 slightly delayed is just short of 7 minutes. Midnight on Mars is the same again. Don't Trust the Kids is 3.5 minutes, probably one of the shortest tracks he's ever done. And then Blackouts, the final track, is on just over 4 minutes. The second side then is just the big side, really. And it's just split into 2 tracks, which are very long, actually. Shuttlecock, which is 8.5 minutes. And then the big one on here is Lotus, parts 1 to 4, which is just under 17 minutes. So this side of music, you get your money's worth, really. This is a German copy, so it's on that particular label. That one there. Hopefully you can see that. Fantastic album. Those people that don't know this chap or the band, and there is a lot of people that really don't know this man, you should do, because if you like your electronic music and you're a big fan of groups like Tangerine Dream, Kraftwerk, Klaus Schulze, this guy gets overlooked. The difference between those bands I've just mentioned is they all use keyboards. This chap links the guitar to the keyboard. So all there is sequences on and a few keyboards on this, but it's all linked to the guitar there, and that's the difference between him and the groups like Tangerine Dream, Egger Schutze. Great. In fact, there's a link between Klaus Schulze and Manuel, is that Klaus, his drummer in his very first band, Klaus, was Ashra Temple. That's the name of the first band that Manuel had, and Klaus was the drummer. Big mates. So there we are. This is such a great album. It's not easy to find on vinyl, but I think that it's quite easily available now on CD. I think you can go to, I think there is a website that you can go to and find out all about him and his releases. Unfortunately, Manuel died earlier on this year, which is very sad. Well worth checking out. I shall try and dig something out for you and send it so you can have a look. But go and investigate. Just type in Ashra and you'll find some amazing footage of him. So that's what I was listening to this morning, Ashra. This afternoon then, I picked some random classics here, I have to say. I'm going to be listening to, just before my guests arrive, because I've got guests this afternoon, is this marvellous album. It's one of these albums I think should be in everybody's collection. That's how good this is. And it's the Blue Nile Hats. Sorry about it's snowing out there. I'm getting a glare here. I don't know why. But this is Hats from 1989. Fabulous album. It's very difficult to read the text on here. I don't know why they've done it like it's a dark blue cover, as you can all see, with sort of dark blue text on it. This band hail from Scotland. They are they were, I should say, a three-piece band, but they were really four people, to be perfectly honest. The singer, guitar player, bass guitar player. But the fourth real member of the band is a guy called Callum Malcolm, who produces the band, and he's or was a fourth member of the band, really. This is a fabulous sounding album, and the reason it's fabulous is that it's recorded on the Lynn record label. So those people that know, I'm sure you all do, Lynn, a turntable hi-fi producer, mainly turntables, and Lynn produced some of the best turntables in the world. But they've also, I think they are still going as a label. Certainly in the they were in the 80s into the early 90s, they were producing quite a few acts on their label because their equipment is so high end, and you get that on here. So what's the music like then? Well, this particular album, it's their second, is very atmospheric, very however, you've got this feel of melancholy. Actually, some of the pieces are quite depressing, but it's got this high melody and really high-end guitar, bass, and electronics going on. There's no real drums on here at all. It's keyboards. They were to get a drummer later, but it's all about Paul Buchanan's voice, and he has got one heck of a set of pipes. Fabulous singer. You've just got 7 tracks on this album. They're all quite lengthy, really. Over the Hillside, that is the start of the album, and you put that on and you know where you're going to be going with the album. Wonderful, wonderful track. The Downtown Lights, I'm sure everybody's heard that song. You probably don't know. It was a single. Let's Go Out Tonight ends the side, which is a beautiful, beautiful ballad. Very soulful ballad, that one. You turn the record over, and then you've got this other single. There was 3 singles from this album. Headlights on the Parade, again, very popular tune. Upbeat and dancey, that one. From a Late Night Train. Yeah, that's a very melancholic. It's quite depressing, that song. Beautiful, beautiful song. 7 a.m. Again, it's a very emotional piece of music. Very, very layered, and it builds. It's got all these emotional factors going on in the thing. And then the album finishes with certainly my favourite track from the album. It's a magnificent piece of music called Saturday Night, and it was another single. Perhaps not as popular as Downtown Lights or Headlights on the Parade, but I love this track. Buchanan's voice on it, and he's actually playing quite a lot of guitar on there, and it's fabulous. The production on here by Callum Malcolm is just incredible. This is one of these albums that if you've just bought a hi-fi and you want to test it and see what the limitations are, and if it's good, bad, or indifferent, stick this on. This will test your hi-fi. It's one of these albums that's it's as good as a recording as Dark Side of the Moon, the way it sounds, and breaks up and splits channels on your stereo place. This does that. It's a fabulous, fabulous album. So this is my afternoon. The B then, the Blue Nile hats. If you haven't got it, you must get this. This is a fabulous, fabulous album. Final one then this evening, and it's going to have to be quick because I've got guests coming in about 15 minutes, and then I'm doing another video with a friend of mine, so I've got to be very, very quick to get this in after my guests have gone. And I love this album. They do get a lot of stick. Their career, I've stuck with these guys all the way through the career, but what a debut album this is. This is a great, great album. I don't care what you say and what your thoughts are on this group, you cannot deny this is not a great album. And it's, as you can see, Coldplay, Parachutes. What a start to their career. This is just an incredible debut album. It's got a lot of, I don't know, did it win the Mercury? I'm not sure. I don't think so. It should have done. What you've got on here is 10 really great, crafted songs. The 4 of them were they're on the top of the game. The songwriting by them all is just fantastic. Nothing much to look at, but there's the 4 of them, looking very young. I mean, we are talking 23 years ago that this came out. My goodness, there you go. What a voice Chris Martin has got. You might not like the guy, but he's got a great, great voice. Just to list the tracks then, I'll tell you what the tracks are. Don't Panic, Shiver, Spies, Sparks and Yellow. On the first side, Yellow being the big one, I think. Probably my least favourite track on the album, I have to say. Shiver is a great song, and it's very reminiscent of Jeff Buckley, of course, and I think Chris Martin's gone on record to say that's very much influenced by him. Trouble, great song. Parachutes is neither near. High Speed is a great track. Love that one. We Never Change, and then the final monster on here, it's my favourite track, is Everything's Not Lost. I saw them on their second tour, and their live version of that particular song is just magnificent, absolutely magnificent. So Everything's Not Lost is my favourite from here. There it is, along with High Speed, I think. Fabulous album. So there we are. That's it. That's the 3 today. It's absolutely pelting down with snow at the moment, and I put this internet connection because I know it's not good. So I shall end this little film now. Have a great day, everybody. And if I've got time, I'll try and make another one of these tomorrow. Okay. Have a fine day then, and leave a comment if you can. That would be very welcome. Okay.